Welcome to Loan Officer Success Partner. I'm your host, Devin Dubuque, and today I've got somebody really special on the show. I've brought in Pedro Maldonado from Su Casa Loans, powered by Premier Lending. Pedro, so you're a branch manager in the mortgage space, and you are working with Su Casa Loans, which is kind of your baby, right?
Correct.
That's fantastic. And so I'm going to take a stab in the dark here, primarily working with the Hispanic community.
That is correct.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I know who you are, and I know a little bit about you, but I want to backstep this a little bit and take it back to the beginning. So, did you grow up? I know you're up in Minnesota. Did you grow up in Minnesota?
No, I did not. I am originally from Guatemala City, and I moved to Minnesota when I was 19 years old.
Okay, so Guatemala City, moved to Minnesota at 19. And what was the reason for the transition?
My dad was relocated for work, and I didn't speak English, so I had to start fresh at 19.
That's very cool. So 19, didn't speak English, here in the States for the first time. What kind of work was your dad doing?
In finance.
He was in finance. Okay. So apple doesn't fall far from
Correct.
the tree.
Yes.
So you get here at 19, you've got to learn the language. And you said, hey, look, I'm going to learn the language and start doing mortgages.
Well,
no, let's take it back a little bit. So how do we get into the mortgage space? What happens first? You get here at 19 and
got the only job I could get, and then with that money, saved money to learn English.
Okay, so we learn English.
And then
how many years did that take?
It took me 2 years to get into college. And
2 years.
I went to Bentley University in Boston.
Yeah.
My plan was to go to investment banking.
Okay.
And then I graduated in 2007.
So investment banking, kind of the same industry, not quite, but similar, right? You understand finance. And so you get out of school, you're going to be an investment banker, and what happens?
I was away from my family for all these years, and I'm like, I am missing my family, and I decided to go back to Minnesota.
So you're back to Minnesota, back with your family. So you get a little reconnection, and where do you end up going to work?
Then it was a recession. It was really hard to.
What year is this?
That was 2007.
Yeah,
it was the recession.
That's a tough time.
It was really tough to find a work. So I decided, I got a job doing processing for a temp agency through a big bank.
What bank? Wells Fargo. Okay. Well, we all know who that is.
Yes.
So we go to work for Wells Fargo on the processing side of the industry. And, when I found Pedro, in my career, is having a good understanding of the different departments is really important, especially if you're going to represent it on the sales side. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like it was a good, did it serve you well to go into the processing side first?
At the time, it did not. And I also did closing as well, disclosures and other different
departments, all on the operational side.
Yes.
Yeah.
But at the time, I didn't know how important was going to be to the success of the right now.
Yeah, to build it up.
And now we know the whole process very well, and I am happy that I started from the bottom.
Do you feel like it serves your clients well, with that background in the operational side of the business?
Correct. Yes, it did.
Yeah, for sure. So now you are 5 years in, I think you said, in the operations side, and you decided to just jump full first into sales. How'd that work?
No, I remember that I was processing, and somebody came and told me that, hey, I'm doing a loan for a loan officer. He made $80,000 last month. I was like, what?
Got your attention.
I was like, really? What do they do? I didn't even know what a loan officer did. And then I started to look around.
Yeah. What's out there?
What is out there?
How can I make $80,000 a month?
Yeah. I got my first job at Wells Fargo as well.
In sales?
In sales.
Yeah. So you kept with the ponies.
Yes.
We're here with Wells Fargo. And what did that look like when you first got in?
I did it for the financial advisors clients.
Okay.
It was good. I learned a lot, but then other banks found out that I was doing loans, so they were looking for a Latino loan officer, and other banks started to recruit me.
Yeah.
And I moved to another bank a year after. They needed somebody to help the Latino community in Minnesota.
Okay.
With the loans. They didn't have anybody that speaks Spanish, so I took the job. But when you are in the banks, sometimes they don't understand the culture, how the Latino community works and how they work their finances. So then I started to look the opportunity. that is out there.
Right.
And I had like a 10-year plan.
Okay.
Just focus on the Latino community and then open my own branch a few years down the road. But I had to learn very well the job.
Absolutely.
To be able to do that.
Yeah.
And to be able to do that, I needed to get out of the banking.
Yeah. So where do we go?
Then it happened. I went to 2 different banks, and then the COVID hit, 2020.
Okay. Yeah.
And then
interesting times.
Yes. And then in 2020, I got licensed. So I have been licensed only for 4 years.
Okay. Yeah, because you're federal. So a lot of people don't realize if you're tuning in and you're not in the finance side of mortgage, if you're working for a large bank, you can use their federal license, or you're not required to actually have the accreditation. You still have an NMLS number. So you have a license number, but you don't have the accreditation. So now you're getting accredited with your actual license. They're in the state of Minnesota, just Minnesota?
No, right now, Minnesota and Texas right now.
Minnesota and Texas. That's where I'm from. So you're out there in my backyard.
Yes.
And we definitely have a Hispanic culture and community in Texas as well. So I can see, and I think from the green room, you mentioned you've got some family in Texas too, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, very cool. So you know the lay of the land.
Yes, love it.
So you get in and you learn it from the inside out. You work in the big bank territory. Realize if I really want to serve the community, then I need to get into a more private version of this where I can control the process more.
Correct.
Now, talk to me real quick before we explore that. Why is that? So if I'm a consumer out there and I'm looking at big bank versus more of a private or independent mortgage bank, what's the difference? What is, you know with having that experience on the big bank culture?
Yes. One, it is a huge, you see the language barrier. Then is the flexibility with big banks. For example, many Latino clients have different social security numbers before, and then they get a social security number, but the previous social that they were using is still showing somewhere.
That's right.
So banks, they're like, no, it's
frowned upon. Yeah, risky business going on here.
Yes.
Yeah. And so bridging that gap with the independent banks, what's the difference? Like, how are they able to do anything different?
Well, because we are in the business to find solutions and to help our clients and to close the loans. So right now we look at the client from since they got their social security and what's coming after.
Okay.
Do they have a job? Do they have the income? Do they have the assets for the down payment? Do they have good credit score? It fills all the buckets. That's it. What happened before? We don't look at it.
That's it. 100%. So, again, so if you're looking at financing and you're in the Hispanic community or immigrant status, right? You're in the United States and you're here with an alternative social security number, the independent banks have a little bit more flexibility with that.
Correct.
And because that's the community that you were serving, again, being in Minnesota and having the ability to speak the language, right? You can now help that community who maybe is a little bit lost when they're going to speak with English-speaking banks, right?
Yes.
And you can bridge those gaps.
Yes,
and
for sure.
So we have Su Casa Loans.
Yes.
And so let's talk about that. So we leave the big bank, and at what point in time did we start our own venture?
Then I went to a local mortgage company in Minnesota. It was based in Minnesota. Now they switch another company, purchase them.
Right. A lot of that happens in this industry, by the way.
So I started in March, right during the when COVID hit.
Yeah.
In that year, I believe we were like 50 loan officers. I finished my first year like number 2 in the company. I believe.
Fantastic.
The second year, I was the number 1 in the company.
Yeah.
And then the third year, I was hired by a big mortgage company.
Okay, so back to the bigger bank though.
Yes,
right?
no
Independent.
Bank. Yes,
independent. Yes.
Then I opened a branch in Edina, Minnesota. That's where we are right now. And then I was there for 2 years. I had the team that I have right now. And then I have the opportunity to open something that it will be 100% for the community, to the Latino community.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing right now. And that's how Su Casa Loans came.
That's what led you here with Premier.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. So talk about the team a little bit. So we know it's you, and you still do business too, right?
Yes.
So so you're very active as a branch manager. Because there's a difference, and a lot of people don't realize this, right? You have producing and non-producing branch managers, and Pedro is very much a producing branch manager. But you have a team behind you. Talk a little bit about that. What's the team look like?
So interesting. My right-hand person, her name is Heather. She's the one that teach me a lot of the things that I know.
Yeah.
She has been with me for 6 years since I started.
The backbone.
Yes,
Yeah.
and she doesn't speak Spanish, but she knows
okay.
more in those loans than anybody else. Probably.
You can handle the translation.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Then I have Valeria. She is also the other big structure that we have in the team.
Yeah.
Her personality and how she finds solutions is amazing. She can do every position.
So unicorns.
Yes,
you got unicorns on the team.
Every position, and she is happy to help. And she was working for a really big good team in Minnesota, and then she decided that she wanted to help the Latino community.
That's beautiful. Thing.
She's from Mexico, and she I need to serve my purpose in life, and this is where I think I would be happy.
Well, I'm glad you said that. My purpose in life. I always like to talk a little bit about the why. And we know that you came here with your parents. You went into investment bank, but you landed in mortgage. Why? Like what was it about this space that really appealed to you?
Making the difference in the community. Now that
what does that mean to you?
It means that I am actually helping people.
Yeah,
actually helping people, and knowing that without myself or my team, those clients wouldn't be able to have a house. Going to a closing, see clients crying, and knowing that they have their home because we work really hard. It is an amazing feeling. We feel very grateful for that, for all these clients that trust in us. Su
Casa, translate that to English.
Your home.
Your home. And I love that you said home, when you were talking about your why, because, a lot of people say, hey, the mortgage is your biggest transaction in your life, and it is, right? But I think it's more than that.
Yeah.
It's your home.
Yes.
This is where you're going to spend time with your family. This is where you're going to have memories. This is where you're going to spend your holidays, right? And you're going to break bread with your friends. I think it's such an important process, and to have a great experience during that transaction is really important. And so, that's why what you guys are doing there with Su Casa Home Loans is so special, because you're bridging gaps for a community that sometimes doesn't have good translation. We talk about this, and here we are in 2024, approaching 2025. Most mortgage companies don't have documentation in Spanish, right? It's almost English only, right? So how does the Hispanic culture, especially ones that speak Spanish as their native tongue, have confidence in the communication and the financial terms and who they can do business with?
Yes.
And you're fixing that.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes. And that's amazing. And so basically we've got this new division, Su Casa Home Loans, and you guys are doing all these amazing things for the community. What's the one story that you kind of remember back to when you think back? So, and I want you to take this back a little bit. So when you first got in the industry and you had a transaction where you helped somebody in the community that just really resonated with you, what was that one moment that you remember the most of helping a family?
There is one moment that I have this family that drove 4 hours to come to see me in my office.
Yeah.
Then I find out that the son was the one applying. He was 18 years old. But he was telling me that since he was 15, he was waking up at 2 in the morning, go to work from 2 to 6, then go to school.
Yeah.
And then after school, go to work to save for his house and to help his parents.
That's amazing.
Then they were trying to buy for years, and then somebody gave them my name, and we were able to close them. And it took a year process to get them ready.
Well, let's talk about this real quick. It took a year to get them ready. So you were getting paid that whole time, right?
No.
And I only say that because I don't know that everybody understands the dynamic of mortgage, right? But when we do things on the independent side, we don't get compensated until the transaction's finalized. So out of the kindness of your heart, you took a year to help these individuals find a home, which was really important. This individual took years working and going to school and saving up this money to be able to purchase a home for their family, which is a beautiful thing all its own. And so let's get to finish. What happens?
And then, so they came, they didn't have a credit score or nothing. They didn't even know what was a credit card.
Yeah.
So I had to help them to call Capital One to build their credit. We wait six months, and then I teach them how to use the credit card and to don't maximize it and to don't go over the 30% of the limit. And then 6 months later, they had score. He had a credit score. And then we started the process of the application. And 3 months later, they had it. And now they bought 2 more.
But let's talk about move-in day. What was that for them? Like, did you get to hear from the family at all?
I was there. I went to the closing. They were crying. The parents were crying and hugging, and it was a really special.
did it,
they brought me flowers. And
was this the first home that they'd owned here in the United States?
The first time.
That's really special.
Yes.
So here we are, bridging gaps for a community that doesn't always have good representation, providing the language barrier gaps by helping understand the financial process. And I think the more special thing, and this is what a lot of people don't think about, is looking at I've been told no, I can't buy a home. I've been met with resistance every step of the way. But then we walk into the door with Pedro and his team at Su Casa Home Loans, and there is a way. And even if it's going to take a year, you're going to do what it takes to find a way to help those families become homeowners.
Yes. And that's the difference, that is being a loan officer than being an advisor.
Yeah.
We have to make a plan and follow up with the plan, help the clients and be available until they buy the house.
What I'm hearing is you're not in it for a quick buck.
Oh, yeah. No.
You're in it for the long haul, because you're here to put smiles on families' faces and bridge people to home and bring them home, right? Well, I love it, Pedro. I'd love to keep you here all day. I know you've got families to serve. Is there anything that we didn't tackle today that we should have?
I think that we covered all of our bases. Just thank you for the Farage brothers to give us this, to give us this opportunity to grow with them and to believe in what we have that we are building.
Yeah. We're building something special.
Yes,
that's for sure. Well, so when the folks out there want to find you, how do they find Su Casa Loans and Pedro Maldonado?
SuCasaLoans.com. My phone number is 612-383-7676. Email address is pedro@SuCasaLoans.com. And
let's flip that back in Spanish.
Pedro Maldonado, SuCasaLoans.com. Mi número de teléfono es el 612-383-7676. Y mi correo electrónico es pedro@sucasaloans.com.
There it is, guys. And I'm going to tell you right now, whether you speak English or Spanish, Pedro's team serves everyone. So at the end of the day, if you are somebody who's out there looking for home ownership, maybe you've been met with resistance before, felt like you couldn't buy a home, or maybe you just want to work with somebody who's fantastic, that has a team that's going to amaze you from start to finish, you want to reach out to Pedro, because you're going to get great service. And you're going to be walking away with not just a home, but a great experience, so that you can spend that lifetime in the home knowing that the entire process from the beginning to the end was super special. Yeah, I love it. Well, I think as much as I'd love to keep you here, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. So I'm Devin Dubuque. This is Loan Officer Success Partner. If you want to check us out, come on over to YouTube at The Dubuque Team. Again, that's The Dubuque Team. That's going to be right here at the bottom of the screen, so you don't have to butcher my last name. Or you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram. We're also going to drop this thing on all the podcast channels, so you can find us on any podcast network. And if you listen to this, you're probably already here. But if you just happen to catch us on Instagram or Facebook, man, come on over and check us out. We really appreciate the honest reviews. And hey, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Until the next time, we'll see you then.